I wish I was wearing like my Apple Watch so I could see my heart rate every time I hear her ult go off or something.
Here comes my masterpiece!
We're live. We're in it.
Hello everybody. Welcome to BuffCast.
Episode 4.
I'm General Dumplin. I usually wear a helmet, but I ran out of contacts, so I'm not wearing it.
Yeah. The forced face reveal.
Yeah, basically.
I'm Carson. I don't wear contacts or glasses, and I'm still here.
And I'm Rob, again, usually behind the scenes, but we're here.
So, it's weird to actually do the podcast back to back on consecutive weeks now.
I know.
Yeah.
It feels so official.
And still online.
I think we're going to be online for the rest of the... It was fun doing it on Postway's couch, but...
It was. It had a nice official feel to it, but now, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, this has a nice aesthetic to it, too, in a way. I don't know.
feel like those YouTubers. I
Mhm.
feel like those cool YouTubers that do like those group podcasts together.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, so our first topic, so even though events aren't happening, CU Gaming got nominated for the Cultural Event of the Year by the Center for Student Involvement at CU, so that's a big deal.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go. Bucks.
So yeah, they'll post. The wording was that they were going to live stream the whole, like have a whole award ceremony
Mhm.
on Facebook and Instagram, but instead they just make a very simple graphic and dump out at the top of the hour, "Oh, congrats club for winning this." So
I was gonna say, because they initially had it listed like an hour apart for each award, and I was like, are they really just gonna like just give us an hour, like for the floor for an hour? And I was like, there's no way.
yeah, the way it was presented to us, it looked like a stream. I feel stupid because I sent out an announcement, I did all the pings and whatnot, and they go on the Facebook page, and it was just a graphic with chip and some text, "Congrats for winning."
Yeah.
That's kind of lame.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyways, what is it? What time tomorrow? Right?
It's gonna be at 12 p.m.
Mountain time.
12 p.m.
tomorrow?
Mountain time.
All right. So hopefully our name's on that graphic tomorrow.
Yes. 12
Sweet.
Mountain time. It should be about that.
Yeah, they didn't
Does
talk
suck.
about it too much otherwise, but
It does suck that Continue, our other big event in the spring, was never able to happen, but that
Yeah.
does suck.
It was unfortunate. It could have brought a lot of more attention to us.
yeah. I mean, I wanted to see like with our stuff and I mean just anything in general, like just all this delay, and like is it just gonna mean once we can open back up and go back into society, or are we just gonna be nonstop full events? You know, the funding
I don't know.
that wasn't there, but we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah,
Did
it's
you
just
guys
gonna
ever go
have
to-
play by ear.
Did you guys ever go to Press Start at all?
Yep, I've gone to
Actually,
every single CU gaming event.
Nice.
I actually
Mainly
didn't make
because
press start. I had this
Press
like
Start was fun.
yeah, I had this weird like I'm like met like CU gaming members at like a career fair, or not a career fair, the events fair that you guys are usually at, like freshman year.
Yeah.
And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's the
okay.
one.
I was like, okay, I'll join the Discord. And then I was like, still like not really sure what I was gonna do, like with my major, like a lot of things. I had to figure out a lot of things. But then come now junior year, now I'm like full force into it. So
Well,
came
a
full
lot of
circle.
people join the Discord before becoming a freshman. Like I saw it on r/cu Boulder, and I joined, and I also joined I think like August-ish. I wasn't too
wow.
active, but
Gotcha.
it's weird to think that I went from just randomly joining it onto a whim to, oh yeah, I'm gonna go out with the club to 2 dream hacks and do all that and wake up at 4 o'clock to watch the League World Finals.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of similar to not in the same way, but I went to the events fair, and then I just met them there, and they showed me the Discord server, and they're like, oh, we're doing tryouts for teams. I'm like, oh, that's funny. And then I saw they were doing R6. I'm like, hey, I play R6 a lot. Let me just why not? And I told my friends I'm gonna join as a joke, and then I got in, and I was like, wait a minute, I wasn't expecting that.
I was not good at any esports at the time. Like I played so much CS in high school, and then as soon as I came to college, like I just played Fortnite casually, and yeah, that's a whole nother story. Yeah.
I mean, I did compete on the Apex team. That was, I don't know, like I'm like I play Apex, and then I never played Apex during all the summer because I was busy with like a summer job. And then I'm like, I'm gonna like hopefully start an Apex team. So we spend like the whole semester making an Apex team, we gather like 2 or 3 random people who are God, I feel bad for forgetting the names, but they were subs on 2 of the R6 teams. We play 3 times. We play one of the college Apex blitzes, and we never play with each other, and we never talk to each other ever again. It's a tragedy at this point.
Yeah.
I know it does suck that Apex
Apex
never had private servers. It would have been so cool.
I don't know why Apex still doesn't have private servers. I find that kind of ridiculous.
It's made so much money. Private servers aren't that hard.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I have no idea.
SMH.
I definitely gotta get back into the community Discord and get playing with just playing with everybody, especially with Valorant now, which is Valorant's been hitting the news for a couple different reasons. A lot of mixed opinions coming out of it. It's not as hype as it was.
Well, what do you mean not as hype?
Or maybe not as hype, but like everyone was like, "Oh, this is a game. There's nothing wrong with this." But now, like, people are starting to see Raze for who she is and whatnot.
Great point. Now as we go into our next topic about Raze.
Listen, you tried to make that segue so much more obvious than I did. I was trying to just ease into it, but yeah,
I really haven't had any troubles with Raze, or maybe I'm just bad and no one's played Raze against.
I hate Raze so much. Her utility is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
You don't feel safe ever, because as soon as you see one grenade, it blows up, and then as soon as you're near it, 4 more pop up and you just die. You have no chance.
I wish I was wearing like my Apple Watch so I could see my heart rate every time I hear her ult go off or something.
It's terrifying.
Honestly. Yeah, I saw Shroud and Summit, that clip of Shroud and Summit getting into it about like Shroud's like, it's just utility, like you gotta ignore it, and Summit's like, a bazooka is not utility, my guy. Like
it's like an Overwatch ultimate, just like press whatever the button is, just press Q to win.
Pretty much,
I know it's not Q, but I think Q is the
ult was really OP in the Overwatch beta.
Who was?
I think it was it Hanzo's that was really OP in the Overwatch
Probably
beta?
Hanzo. What about, I'm not huge on Overwatch, but probably like Pharaoh, right?
Yeah,
Maybe?
Pharaoh. I remember it was just like, no, it was Reaper, that's who it was. Reaper's ult was the most OP thing to ever exist in the Overwatch beta, and all my friends were just like, oh, just press Q to win, and now it's Raze. So
Yeah.
See, it's a trend. It keeps moving.
Yeah.
Oh well.
But I mean, I think they'll handle it. I think there's already nerfs coming out for Sage. They're making her ice wall, like less HP or whatever, like break easier, and then
that's my only gripe so far, balance wise, is that wall. It's way too. You could just throw everything at it and nothing really happens. So it's just
you dump 2 mags into that thing, and it still doesn't break.
Yeah, and I was using it wrong too. Like I didn't realize that you can just kind of out IQ it. Like I would always just like block the corridor, but a lot of things, if you stuff it like vertically, like then they have to break through 2 or sometimes even 3 of the cubes.
Just get near the bomb or something like that.
Yeah.
I also think, I don't know what the map is, but one of the maps I think is like an A, B, and a C bomb site.
Oh, I hate
And
it.
then there is some, if you
Haven,
put up the wall in such a specific way, you can see way too much. It's almost breaking it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've only played a few games. I don't know if this is on purpose or not, but you can't alt tab out of the game at all. People have been talking about that. That might be a bug or not.
What do you mean?
You have to like Control Alt Delete to get into Task Manager, but there's a 50-50 chance that when you do that, the game crashes. So
Yeah.
I think
I know
people
you-
have been doing that.
I know you can, but yeah, it's like people get mixed results. Like if you're on border list, sometimes it'll crash or stuff. Or I got logged out of the Riot launcher once mid game. Like
Really?
Well,
I could
was
hear
playing
the audio of the game, but sorry. Go
Well,
ahead.
I was playing before this, and I tried to like Control Alt Delete out, and it just was not responding at all. It was really weird. I felt bad because we were actually winning, but I feel like with the games, it's either there's a lot of disconnects, probably because of that one glitch with like Alt tabbing out or Control Alt deleting out. Because usually, either I'm getting stomped because we're either really bad and no one's ever played before, or people just either crash, or just disconnect, or just go AFK.
Yeah.
A lot of
Or
people
we're
have,
just pub stomping.
One thing I've noticed, at least with my friends, is that we get a lot of high ping issues, and then my friends just like disconnect, and then they reconnect, and then they disconnect, and they reconnect, and it's just constant, just because of high ping, even though they probably have really good internet. It's just That was one thing.
Yeah.
Supposedly the networking's fairly good, where you can kind of it's not as juddery. But my very first game I played at 7 o'clock in the morning, and it was only against Korean players. So not only was I playing against players with extremely high ping, they were already better than me to begin with, and that was
even with the ping. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun just getting destroyed in first ever game Valorant at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a game where, once we get those mainstream esports tournaments, people are just like everything is just going to change. Like, we're going to learn so many things.
A lot of things are going to change, and I honestly think we're going to be talking about this weekly.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be like, oh my god, did you see what you can do with like Sage and like whatever combo of like in the spots? Like, there's just going to be some big brain plays coming out there, no doubt.
It's like, do you guys know that YouTuber that does Rainbow Six like videos like that? His name's Coconut Bra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'll be like that, but for Valorant.
Yeah, and Coconut Bra, when I got into R6 briefly, it's crazy to me that he influences like the esports players.
He influences so many things.
Yeah. Like it's
it's
so strange.
Like I started doing like these peaks, like these pixel peaks that I learned from his videos, and they work. And then people are like, "What the hell is this?" I'm like, "Coconut Bra."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard about his whole like the tarp legacy on. Oh God, what is that map? It's like the nightclub map.
Yeah.
Does that ring a bell? Like the tarps. That was just like a months long fight with Ubisoft. Like first they made they would fix one spot, he'd find another, and then eventually they just had to make the tarps. What do you call it? Like a no clip thing, because he was just too good at finding spots. It's funny.
I don't know how he does it.
Yeah.
So people are comparing like certain aspects of Valorant to R6. I really haven't seen it yet, because I know one or a few of the maps have like the grappling or the ropes you climb up, but
oh, those things. No one really compared that to R6.
Yeah.
Is there also
repelling a building?
Yeah.
I think there's also wall banging like CS, but that's also an R6. I've seen people compare it to R6 a lot.
I think people threw out a lot of things when they saw the trailer or the rumors. They're like, "Oh my god, this is going to be the Overwatch CS R6 like Call of Duty like killer or like
it's
whatever,"
more,
and it's like
every
it's
game
more
in
CS
one
than
game.
Overwatch.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's CSGO and Overwatch, but it's more CS than it is Overwatch.
Yeah, I still don't know that I've defined it either. Like I see a lot of people saying it's a casual CS, but I in ways find it way less casual because it's so much more on edge sometimes.
I mean, the best way I feel like it's a CS that people can pick up a lot easier, in my opinion. Just because there's a lot more intricate things that go into CS, in my opinion. I don't know, Valorant, I just feel somebody can just pick up the game and enjoy it a lot more than others, or just, start to get a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. You could definitely pick up the game and just start playing Raze and find yourself probably somewhere midway in the competitive ranking, or at least pretty high. Like you'll get out of like the silver equivalent, but
I've only really picked up Phoenix. I don't really know what all their what are they called? Operators, champions,
agents.
Yeah. I've picked up Phoenix. I mean, I feel like his little like flash orb that goes around the corner doesn't really do much, but I've dropped a few 30 bombs playing him.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you curve that, like that's an extremely powerful entry flash.
I don't know, I just feel like
it's pretty cool.
It's very tilting too. Yeah, it's very tilting that coming into your field of view and you're like, oh god, I'm flashed. Here comes the sun.
I feel like I flash myself more often as Phoenix than I actually do when I flash opponents. It's just more of like I'm gonna spend $100 just to blind myself for 3 seconds.
I mean, I just suck, so I always hit the corner of the wall and it bounces and I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
That's awkward.
Like, I feel like maybe it's because I'm more experienced with FPSs on PC, but I feel like when I first started CS, it was potato aim and then slightly better potato aim. But now I feel like I'm getting better. I don't know, it feels, again, people are comparing it to 1.6, but I never played 1.6. I played like CSGO for a few years in high school and then stopped playing CSGO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I played CSGO in high school too, but I don't really know much about the movement system of CSGO to compare it to Valorant. I just know.
Just don't move while shooting.
I feel like there's a direct correlation of us playing CS or League in high school and then ending up here at CU Gaming.
I feel like a lot of people play League, and I feel like I'm the odd one out for never really
Me neither.
playing it.
Yeah.
I played it
Don't feel bad there.
And then I just got yelled at by my teammates, so I stopped.
It's never my style. The only one I can just barely get into, and I don't even know if you group it in the same category as Smite, because at least then I feel like I'm like kind of actually controlling. So I don't know.
Does it count if you played Smite on the Xbox? Does that count?
I mean, sure, right now.
Smite on the Xbox.
MOBA's on an Xbox, the best way to play.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm basically a boomer when it comes to MOBAs or whatever. I don't even know. Is it MOBA? I don't even know.
I don't know. Well, I've been enjoying watching our league team play. No idea what's going on.
Yeah.
I know they're very good.
Oh, the callouts are so foreign to me, but it's pretty intense.
I know they're good, and I know it's entertaining. So.
That just makes me so excited. Callouts on like a competitive esports level for any game, whether it's like just screaming in Call of Duty or Fortnite or like just whatever, just the like all these like just non-English terms, and you're just like you're yelling, but it makes sense to the people there.
It makes sense to the people there, but everyone else just like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Valorant. I'm curious to see how it plays out. You know.
I mean, have you guys seen the whole what happens when there's like a cheater in your game? Have you seen that clip by Summit yet?
I haven't seen the clip, but I saw the image.
Yet.
It's pretty cool. So like basically the match will start like normal, but then as soon as the buy phase ends, the match just gets terminated right away.
That's pretty good, yeah.
And it just says like a cheater was noticed in your lobby. There's no MMR loss, no MMR gain, and it just takes and it requeues you right away.
Is
So
there a
it's actually
ranking
really
system right now? Like I know they're going to introduce it.
It's hidden. It's just
Yeah,
like
I've
hidden
heard there's
MMR
like
at the moment.
there's a hidden MMR.
Because I've seen tweets about it being very similar to League. You know, you got bronze, silver, gold, platinum, whatever.
I mean,
That's-
it's definitely,
yeah.
they'll definitely have something like
That-
that in the future, but for the moment, it's just secret.
Yeah,
You know?
it's. I think they're gonna have ranked in the beta within the next couple of weeks. They said.
How long is the beta going to go for?
I don't know.
Exactly.
It sounds like pretty long. If they're saying weeks until they put ranked into beta, and then they planned on a summer launch. I mean, what's the earliest we could call summer? Right? End of May, June, or like
I'd say first week of June would be.
June.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
That's like that's actually kind of soon.
I don't think it's going to be that early because everything's been changed with COVID and all that. But I think they just said summer because summer can be
summer could be August.
June to late August, so that gives them a lot of freedom.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like COVID won't really affect them as much due to well, maybe like obviously doing things in the office for them, but releasing it, I'm just gonna assume it's just gonna be like just like League, you can just download it by looking it up. So it's just gonna be it's free to play, right? It's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's also like weird. Well, not really weirdly, but the system requirements are you could run on a toaster at this point.
I know, it's crazy.
Like minimum specs are a mobile i3 from like I think it's
Wait,
Haswell.
i3?
yeah,
yeah,
it's like
it's
a i3 like selling.
So the minimum for 30 FPS is an i3 37M, which is a mobile. I don't think it's Haswell, but that's like 2014, 2013 on
Wow.
Intel HD 3000 graphics. So that's
like integrated graphics.
yeah. I mean that's
pretty-
like
That's
that's
crazy.
like that's 30 FPS. You're not gonna want to play a
That's
competitive
Yeah.
FPS at 30 FPS, and then recommended is an i3 4150 and a GT 730. A GT
Even for the
730
yeah.
730.
730 isn't even a great gaming graphics card. It's just a graphics card, so you can put
Yeah.
more ports in.
Man.
And the GT 730 is well over 5 years old. Same with the i3 4150, and the high end is an i5 4460 and a 1050 Ti.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see like a wave of a bunch of high schoolers playing this in their computer lab, like once we go back to school, with
Maybe
like
s-
those specs.
It would be cool to see it
That'd be
supported with
great.
the high school leagues. Just I know that
Mm-hmm.
CSGO hasn't really had any support because guns and bombs and terrorists, but
Yeah, you can turn off like everything for this, right? You can turn off blood and bodies, I think.
Is there even blood? I mean, there's
It's
there's like this.
the
I really
splatter or
haven't
whatever.
noticed it.
Yeah, but the bodies don't even like do much either.
They just ragdoll,
faint.
really.
They
Yeah.
look like- they don't even ragdoll. They just like or like
Yeah.
pose. They do like a Yamcha pose or something when they
Mm-hmm.
die.
But I think you can turn it off and it just becomes like a hologram or something, and it like shows what operator was there, which I heard
Oh,
was
like
like
a
yeah,
Fortnite thing?
like a little pop-up thing, which I heard was better for Cypher because you can clearly distinct between enemies and friendlies better for his ult.
Mhm.
But
I was planning to like build a new computer for Cyberpunk 2077 coming out, but if I'm only playing Valorant and Minecraft, my laptop's been doing fine for both of those. There's really no point at this and also prices have been crazy with COVID. So
the 3000 shares, 3000 series of NVIDIA cards should be like coming out relatively soon, right?
Like I think so, but I don't really need or want ray tracing. Like I wish there was just a high end card with no ray tracing whatsoever.
Yeah, fair.
Also, I'm on 1440p, 144 hertz. Like I can't go back to 1080p or below 144 hertz. It's like
yeah, I feel you there.
I've seen the good life. I can't go back.
Yeah.
I have my monitor is 165 hertz, and it's just like I love this. I don't want to go home. My home computer doesn't have this. I can't.
Well, I brought my monitor home, and I just put it in the box and patted the crap out of it and took it as a carry-on on the plane, and that's worked out fine so far.
That works. That's gamer priorities right there.
Yeah, that's a real game.
Like I can play on a significantly less powerful laptop than my main rig, but as long as I have 144 hertz, the world could be ending and everything's fine.
Yeah.
144 hertz over everything.
I think if I did it over, I mean, the technology wasn't out then, but if I did it over, I'd probably do 1080 at, was it 240 hertz? Yeah.
Ooh, that sounds cool. I mean, I've seen stuff about 300 hertz panels coming out, and that just seems absurd.
That seems futuristic.
I mean, I feel like it's something I have to test out. I know, like, for Fortnite competitive, like, 240 is, like, the standard for every Cash Cup winning, like, 14-year-old. They've got their
standard
1080, 240 hertz. Or at least it's more common. I know, like, I was, like, one of the first of my friends to get 144, and it was like, is this what does this do? And then just turning that on, like, everyone knows that feeling.
I got a 140 hertz, 4 hertz display, and for, like, the first 2 weeks, I didn't even have 144 hertz on.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it was just, like, the heavens opened up, and I was still getting absolutely dunked on in CSGO, but, you know.
But it looked nicer.
It felt way nicer.
Yeah, Mikey says he's got 240. He's in the chat. I'm sure.
Yeah, he's got this gnarly ass Alienware monitor.
I wonder, for those that are in chat, what's the difference between 144 to 240? Like, how big is that jump? Because I know 60 to 144 is huge, but is 144 to 240 not as big? I wonder that. But yeah. So you're speaking of RTX. They just came out with the was it the Windows edition or Microsoft edition of Minecraft, right?
The Bedrock
Edition.
Bedrock edition. Okay, Bedrock.
Which is, it's on the Bedrock edition is the one you can play on almost all platforms, but this version specifically for Windows 10 now has RTX. I mean, they've also had RTX for the Java edition of Minecraft, aka the only way you should be playing Minecraft if you actually care about Minecraft.
Exactly.
Don't at me.
Because Java is Bedrock's behind by how many? Is it just one update or two?
They're on the same updates, but it's more restricted. Like you can't really like mods and resource packs and skins you have to pay for.
Gotcha.
Which makes sense on a console platform, but if you already have a significantly more open and better optimized version, like there's no point. I mean, I think when they first rolled out the Windows 10 edition before it became Bedrock, I got the Windows 10 or Bedrock for free, but there's really no point.
Yeah. I think I saw XQC playing the version that just came out. What was it? The end of last week or whatever, and like. I mean, I guess it's probably hard to tell through his stream. Like, you're not really going to see the ray tracing that well, but it kind of just looked like he found a good shader pack. A shader pack and a good lighting combo.
As beautiful as it looks, like, I got a pretty good shader pack, and it's just like the default shader pack that you can get anywhere, and it looks fantastic compared to
probably, yeah.
Obviously, an RTX would, is superior, but if you don't want to have to do that, you can easily supplement it with just going on Google and looking up shaders and finding a nice YouTube tutorial to tell you how to do the entire process instead of trying to get it to RTX. But it's cool. I mean, it's nice to see, new things happening for Minecraft all the time.
I mean, I also appreciate them. Like, Minecraft is obviously a classic. Like, I appreciate them, working and getting RTX for Minecraft. But I'd like to see it launch on like a new AAA title that makes sense and is like, I don't know, like let's see an actual use case of it. Like so far I've only seen it for Minecraft, and I think Doom was the other recent one.
So right now I think Battlefield 5 was the first one. COD Modern Warfare, Metro Exodus.
Oh, okay. So maybe gotcha.
There aren't that many.
I mean, Modern Warfare is pretty huge. I guess I'm just out of the loop because I don't own an RTX card, but
Yeah, I don't either. I've got a nice 10.
and even if I did, I imagine that's just so hard to push. Like ray tracing in the middle of a Warzone match, like I'm usually running on low settings for everything. I just go straight for the highest FPS.
Well, I think Digital Foundry did a lot of testing. It's either like with the cards you can play at 1440p and 144 hertz, or 1080p at 60 hertz, but it looks gorgeous. Like I'd rather play at 144 hertz, 1440p. Like I don't know. On my main setup, I have a 1080 that I got used, and there's really no point of paying a lot more money, especially if there is going to be a new RTX series or 3000 series cards coming out for like a 15 to 25% boost in performance.
Yeah.
So I'm not really looking until RTX becomes as easy to run or not as bad on your system performance. There really is no point for me to play on like RTX or ray tracing, because I'd rather have high frame rates. Like I can appreciate great looking games, Doom, Returnal, The Witcher 3, but then again, I'm sitting here playing games that look relatively outdated for the time with Minecraft and VALORANT. I really don't care because the gameplay holds up.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, also, RTX is pretty expensive. Yeah, I ain't got that kind of.
Yeah. I'll have to see what happens with that 3000 series, because I could see like whatever the top of it will be, the 3080 Ti or whatever. I could see that easily being like $2,500 or something, and at that point I'll just be looking at like 2080 Ti's on sale, or like I'll weigh out my options for the performance there.
I'll just be on eBay waiting.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm stuck buying an Nvidia card since my monitor's G-Sync. And again, I'm not looking to buy a new monitor. I know there is some way, it's a little jank, where you can run G-Sync compatible graphics cards on AMD FreeSync compatible monitors.
I don't think I use G-Sync that much. I don't think it's. For the most part, I think
it's set up automatically for me. That's just where it's variable fresh rate, but there's no tearing. Yeah. Again, there really is no point for me to buy a new graphics card or anything in that matter. My main CPU is, I think it's like an i7 4790K. That's what, 5-6 years at this point.
Right around 2015, 16. Does that sound about right?
I think it was I think it was like a Haswell refresh, or like a Haswell. Actually, I think it was like Devil's Canyon. It was a refresh of Haswell, which is 2013, 2014.
Yeah.
And it came out late 2014, and I bought it early 2015, like as a freshman in high school. I probably didn't need it at all because I wasn't doing any streaming and whatnot, but it's nice. It does. The problem is now it's a 4-core, 8-threaded CPU, and now like 8-core, 16-thread CPUs are way more efficient, way cheaper. So again, I was going to upgrade for Cyberpunk 2077. That got pushed.
Yeah.
Prices are kind of weird.
Got time on that one.
Not releasing fall, right?
It's been pushed back.
I think.
I think it's September right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's still fall.
Unless that's the game of the decade, I'm just gonna be playing Valorant on my laptop with this. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. All right. I think we've gone down the graphic card rabbit hole for quite a while here.
We need to stop boring everyone.
Yeah. I mean,
moving on to a very important problem in the gaming community at the moment is the TF2 source code leak.
Yeah, I was just hearing about that from you guys this morning. That's huge. I mean,
pretty gnarly.
Yeah. I mean, how much you have, what do you have with that? Like, essentially the whole game? Like, I mean, like, what are you getting out of that?
So you can read the article. The leak was initially reported by @SteamDB on Twitter, with the source code in question dating back to 2017 and 2018, affecting CS Source and TF2. According to a report on the issue from PC Games, and several TF2 server communities have advised players to avoid the game. I don't know. I don't really know much about core.
Is it saying the CSGO source code was leaked too on the Steam database? Yeah. There? That's.
I think Valve made a statement to like.
It's pretty much all. Would it be? Not all file, but pretty much anything that uses sources.
Wow.
Leaked, so it's pretty much any Valve game.
I mean, that's crazy. I don't know who this heavy update out. I'm assuming he's probably just someone that like tracks TF2 updates. But he's saying, do not launch TF2 under any circumstances. Remote code execution exploits have already been found, which means you can receive a virus from simply joining a server with a cheater. This is not a drill. So I guess with that source code, you can just, manipulate your server in a way where you're downloading an asset, which is actually a worm or whatever, something along those lines.
Videos I saw is that the cheaters are able to open up your command prompt.
I saw a video where someone had a virtual machine running on Linux and they just joined and then the command prompt opened up. It's kind of freaky.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's terrifying. So, to anyone that doesn't know yet, do not launch TF2 for the time being. Don't touch it. Just watch it.
Yeah. Is CS off that table? Is CS safe?
Some people are saying that CS is safe because it has been. I saw someone say that it was leaked in the past, so it should be fine. But I'm not gonna take the risk because I don't want to. Also, I don't play CS, so that's all right with me.
Same with me. But this article says it was leaked from Counter-Strike source, but then they link a tweet saying the source code for CSGO and TF2 have been online. But then again, I know it says the code is from 2017, 2018. I'm not. I am not one with coding, but I guess it must be a big enough issue. Just funny.
It's funny. Josh Faster is in the chat here, and he's saying you can play in trusted lobbies. So I'm assuming if you're just doing regular matchmaking, you're totally fine. He's saying there's still 1.3 million people playing it right now, or something around there. Like, it's still going. So.
Like someone found some really funny things in the code. It's like lines from CSGO code and like a developer note. Make the unbumped version not so effing stupid and not need tangent space transpose, you knob. Okay, I don't know what that means.
They're just insulting the other developers within the source code. That's amazing.
It's kind of funny.
Oh, you also another game that part of it, Gmod. Just stay away from that one too.
Oh God, I can't even. Gmod, I would actually probably be most scared of Gmod because that's a game where when you join a server, you're already downloading sometimes like 2 gigs of assets. Like those those seem so. It is not an open source game, but just it's created. Like there's so many plugins and just third party things.
There's so many things with with Gary's mod. Just I definitely suggest staying away from it for the time being. You can wait a couple days. Play Valorant.
Yeah, honestly.
I don't know. I saw about a month ago the main developer of Gmod was hinting at Gmod too.
Oh yeah,
that was probably
some kind of tweet or something, right?
That would be pretty cool.
I don't know. I never really played Gmod. I know that
source code.
Source 2? I mean, Dota is on Source 2. I mean, CSGO's been having a lot of updates. It wouldn't be completely out of the question if at some point Valve dropped CSGO being ported to Source 2. Because I know they're doing a lot of updates with Valorant coming out, which is good because competition's good and whatnot. But I don't know. People have been talking about the Source 2 port since before I started playing CSGO, while I was playing CSGO, after I stopped playing CSGO.
So it's just, it could be just a rumor.
Yeah. I don't know how Riot works. I don't know like with League if they typically do like seasons, like not about I guess like a battle pass or anything, or if they'll do that with Valorant. But I think Valve definitely needs to time something with CS:GO right when Valorant's about to go huge. Like they really need to give their best shot, and like I mean that's what we've been seeing. Yeah.
Well, I'd say the competition is definitely good.
Fire. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with how many people are playing CS at the moment. Well, not as of right now, but in the last week we saw it hitting its all-time peak. So it definitely shows that CSGO is definitely in the competition still against Valorant.
Let's see.
Hopefully Valve can just keep up with the momentum.
So, I mean, like right now, the current players to CSGO was 1.1 million.
Oh, really?
And its peak was 1.3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's what somebody was saying in the chat. Like 1.3 peak, and then like now 900K. So they lost a bit after this source code leak news.
No, definitely.
Well, it's just weird to think that I don't know. I feel like I'm always going to go back to when I played CSGO in high school. When I played CSGO in high school, that was the weird time where you actually had to pay for CSGO when Valve wasn't supporting it. And now it's free to play, and now it's the most played thing ever. I mean,
I think part of me forgot that. PUBG? Ooh. That was up there for a long time. I think it
peaked at about 3 million-ish.
PUBG had a lot of like international success, I think, right?
In January of 2018, it
yeah.
had it says 3.24 million.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Well, now it's
I
down to
definitely
like
see that.
100,000, which is
Now
kinda
it's
crazy.
at like 500,000, like half a mil.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I don't even have enough
Nice.
news about it, but Player Unknown, I forget his actual name or like his dev company's name, but he's working on like a single player game or something. It was announced at like the Game Awards, and there's right now there's just like a Twitter account with like a banner and like one like 30-second teaser clip, but it should be pretty cool.
I expect it to run just as poorly as PUBG did. So
Listen,
Yeah.
early PUBG bug days were some of the best days. You just never knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah,
It
but
was
it's like
the
still
best
buggy
worst-
though.
Yeah, well, fair.
it was the best worst game I ever played. I played so much, and then looking back on it, it was a glitchy, buggy, poorly optimized mess that eventually got overrun with cheaters from China at some point.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I was
think-
kind of surprised I still played it despite it being the buggiest thing I ever played. I remember one time I was just driving in a car with my friend and then we just exploded.
I don't know. Those are just the memories I have. Like, I love it. But I think it's one of those things where, I don't know how to say it. Like, you thought it was so good until you tried anything else. Like,
Anything
This-
that worked better.
anything
and then
else.
Fortnite swooped in. Like the fact that
Mhm.
Fortnite actually ran
It didn't kill you.
Yeah.
at
pretty
all.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Going back to PUBG, the movement speed in that game, to me, is so slow. Like, it's
It's
hard for me to
crazy.
handle.
Right.
It's
Like,
also
even
kinda
the
like
full
VALORANT.
sprint, like, your AK's, like, swinging behind your back as you're running. Like, you go, like, a quarter of a mile and, like, the blue zone's coming up on you. And it's like, I don't know. It's not a vibe for me anymore.
I personally, I hate the movement system of PUBG so much.
Yeah.
I tried playing it actually recently, like about a couple months ago. I re-downloaded it. I was like, let me give it another try. And then I immediately uninstalled it.
Yeah,
after,
like Clovis said, PUBG was all about auto running. What was it, caps lock or like equals? Just
Yeah.
hit that and
caps lock.
you're sending it across the map for at least a solid 3 minutes.
I
Yeah.
remember one time I just set the auto run and I had so much I really had to go far and I just set on caps lock, ran and went to go get some water, came back and I was still running. Circle.
It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think we're are we at the end of this like battle
How long have we
royale
been going
mountain?
for?
We've been going for about 42 minutes already. We went off
I feel
on
like Battle-
quite a few tangents, yeah. But anyways, battle
I
royales.
feel like I just got burnt out of Battle Royale because I never played,
I'm
Glad
not
it did,
complaining.
to be
I'm not
honest.
complaining at all.
I never really played H1Z1 because I know there was, the Arma 3 mod, then DayZ, and then H1Z1. I never really played any of those.
Mhm.
PUBG was my first one I played.
Yeah.
I mean, I played a lot of it. but it just
H1Z1,
felt
man. That's a whole
so
nother.
tedious.
H1Z1 was hilarious. We have
I never played
proximity chat, 5 people like 5 people in a vehicle. You have like, different vehicles with different speed that just super super dark green toxic storm that was just like horrifying. The bleeding, like it was good. Not anymore, but
Josh is right in the chat. Apex is the best BR. I mean, that's the best
I
BR
don't
that
know,
I've
man.
played.
I don't
That's
know
a-
about that one.
I mean, are you gonna say Fortnite or Fortnite?
God,
or
I am so conflicted with Fortnite because the current stigma with Fortnite, it just makes you wish it never existed. But Fortnite in 2017, and even
Was
Fortnite now
Scott.
with like
What
tomorrow
happened
they have a Travis Scott concert in Fortnite. Like, are you
They did
kidding me?
Marshmallow concert too.
Just like the Marshmallow. Imagine if that was my childhood. If I was 14, I could get on Fortnite right now during quarantine and go to a Travis Scott concert. Sure, it's just a video game, but like, that's so
I'd
cool
be
to me.
so hyped. I'd be so
I'd
hyped
be
for that.
geeking, bro.
It's
It's just so weird to think about Fortnite because I played like ended like second half of season 1, grinded season 2 and grinded season 3, and I just got burnt out of it and then became way too popular. I sound like a hipster, but it became way too mainstream.
I
And
hear you saying, like, personally, like, I honestly think Fortnite season 1 to 3 was the best VR there was at the time.
it was so much
just-
fun. Also,
It was fun. It wasn't confusing. You didn't have people just building skyscrapers as soon as you take one pot shot at them, right? And you didn't have these building battles. You just had, just basic VR fighting with some building implements, right? And then after that, it just started getting a little too confusing because they started thinking, oh, let's add new things to the game. Let's add planes. Let's add all these weird cars. Let's add hoverboards,
It was an essential moment of my freshman year, and I'll stand by that. Getting a new item every week and I played with my the dorm over. Him and I would duo queue like every night. Like,
That's cool.
I wouldn't trade it for the world, but like now it's just in such a weird state. Now it's like now it's literally like 14-year-olds posting their Cash Cup winnings on Twitter and being like, I'm rich, I'm the best. Like those are like actually kind of the gist of the tone they use. They go like, best duo NA, like come at me. Let's 1v1. Like it's so toxic now.
Stuff, dude. I love
so
that stuff.
toxic.
I see it all over Instagram. Like any popular Instagram page, you just see I'm the best console Fortnite player. At me if you think you are better.
Yeah.
I just love that.
I can't fend for it anymore now that it's in that state.
It's also weird because there aren't really any other games that are similar to it with its build mechanics. Because I feel like if you go from like CS or COD for more traditional first-person shooters, they can hop between, if they're mechanically skilled enough and they don't burn themselves out, they can hop between the games fairly easily. That's what, like we saw with Overwatch and now Valorant. But with Fortnite, there's nothing like it. Yeah. A lot of it's all of this building. So if you've already put so many hours into the game, you're kind of stuck with it because there's nothing else you can jump to.
I think it's pretty much in a state where, calling anything a dead game is maybe not the most effective way. It's never a dead game unless there's literally 0 people playing it. But I think like H1Z1, like they split the survival and the battle royale mode into 2, and then like they renamed the battle royale mode, and now it's a different thing. PUBG has its crowd, and I think like probably just PUBG, Fortnite. I think they're all going into that reserve like CS where like it's not the hype anymore, but it definitely has its crowd. It definitely has its not veteran status yet because it still doesn't feel that old, but
I mean, like 100,000 players is nothing to scoff at with PUBG.
Yeah.
Like, of course, it's nothing compared to where it was before, but still 100,000 players, and there's also way more monetization in it now than
PUBG.
Yeah.
No, PUBG's at 500,000.
That was its 24-hour peak, but right now I think it said it was like 100,000.
Oh, that's weird. Oh.
Still, like 500,000 is really good.
It's a lot of people.
I guess it's just it's whatever scope you look at it. Like, are you calling it a dead game because it's not like top 10 on Twitch or top 50 on Twitch? But like,
no, when I think
it'll definitely have
game,
its thing.
I think of let's see, Lawbreakers, Anthem, Battleborn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Battleborn. Lawbreakers and Battleborn, I can't. It's crazy to think about them. Like Lawbreakers, I feel bad for Lawbreakers because I remember playing that beta with my friends. I played the entire beta with my buddies, the entire thing, and we were awesome. We were so good at the game. I don't know what it was. You just really were pretty damn good at it. And then it came out, and we're like, "Oh, you guys gonna get it?" And like, nah. And
also, no one was playing
that's
it.
That's how everyone else felt.
Yeah.
Well, no one played it, and then like a month or so after, they tried to release some shoddy battle royale that was 80s themed, and no one played it at all. It was weird. Also, I know that Cliff Bleszinski's kind of a dick to people.
That was also the reason the game fell, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like people don't really like movement shooters anymore because there was a new Quake game that came out like a year or two ago. That looked cool. No one's playing that. There's Splitgate. It's like a mix between Portal and Halo. Mm-hmm. That looks cool.
There's another one coming out from like Epic and is Epic Unity or Unreal? I always forget. There's another one. It's like these weird like small sprites. They're like circular, but it's just like Quake, like super fast motion. Mm-hmm. I think that's launching.
I don't think it would be Epic because they've got Fortnite and they I think they said Fortnite was worth $15 billion or someone said that.
Yeah.
God.
I don't know. And just to think it was some base building, like tower defense game, then no one ever played that.
I absolutely love the fact that the main story, like the main story mode, the main thing about Fortnite was what it was about, and then they set up the battle royale, and that's all that everyone cares about.
Yeah.
Like when I first watched the trailers for Fortnite, I watched the trailers for the single player mode. And I was like, oh wow, I can't wait to play that, and then I never played it once.
Yeah, super weird. I have like a similar experience. I was in like a doctor's office, and there was like a Game Informer on the coffee table, and I was just like flipping through the like new games in the month, and it was like Fortnite, save the world, like defend your base against zombies. So I was like, I took a picture and like sent it to my friend on Snapchat. I was like, hey, we should like check out this Fortnite game. Like this might be interesting. And like, little did I know.
It was just weird to think about, like at the end. I don't know. What was I think it was a sophomore going into junior year of high school. Actually, no, junior going into senior. I'm like, oh wow, Fortnite's so cool. I love playing it, and then over the summer it got way too big, and then it was like, Fortnite? I don't know.
Yeah.
it was my senior year. I remember that's when I played it the most. I was just playing it with my buddies and like crazy, especially during like winter break of high school. I played only Fortnite. It was only Fortnite I played with my buddies.
I think it's definitely. I don't know why we went on this Fortnite tangent. I'll put it away. But I mean, like the same. I think it's a. As much as the controversies suck, I think like things like the plane update that like broke the game, or like the mechs that were trending on Twitter because Epic wouldn't take them out. Like I think the fact that it has that much media power, kind of just like makes me go easy on it. You know?
Yeah. I mean, you can't deny, as much as people will hate the game, you can't deny its presence in the gaming community and the effect it has had on. I mean, it literally started all the Battle Royale copies.
Yeah, I mean, we have Twitch careers made off of that game.
Yeah.
It's just weird to think that Ninja got so big off of Fortnite. I remember watching him when he played Halo 3 and Halo Reach.
Yeah. I
mean,
mean,
when I was like in middle school, it's really weird to think about.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's somebody that would have done all right without Fortnite because he was fine in H1 and PUBG. He was a big, like, I mean, medium, mid to big size streamer, but then Fortnite put him over the edge because he just went full blown ninja personality.
Because he just got absolutely
I could not. I don't think I could handle the stress of that situation because, like, in those moments, like, you just gotta wake up and you gotta keep it going. Like, you gotta just hop on this train, and just ride it till it hits the station. Like, you cannot. Like,
yeah, no, definitely. And also, in my opinion, the biggest part is trying to maintain like a language barrier, so you're not, because you have like young kids pretty much watching your stuff. I can't do that.
It is funny seeing his old H1Z1 clips.
Oh, dude, I love those the most.
There's some.
Those are the best.
There's some Valorant clips coming out.
There was a Valorant clip, and he was complaining to Tim the Tap Man about joining the lobby, and people are just saying like Fortnite bad, you suck, or they plug their Twitch chat, but then he goes on this rant about he's made so much money off of Fortnite that he can basically buy your parents' house and foreclose on them.
That's ridiculous.
Like, okay, then I guess sure. Fortnite. There was my mom's house.
Screaming at a random because he didn't know how to drop the bomb, and he's just being so illicit. Like it's
how do you drop the bomb? I've played like 10 games. I don't know how to drop the bomb yet.
I think it's like G by default.
Isn't it just a normal drop button?
Yeah, it's like your fourth slot and then G, I think.
Okay, because I remember CSGO is Q, but Q is one of the abilities in Valorant. I don't know.
My thing is still G and CS.
Yeah, I haven't really put the time in to do all my binds for Valorant. For Counter-Strike, I have like a crazy long auto exec. Like my whole number pad will buy me my whole setup. But
damn.
Yeah,
that's pretty bad.
I just have to,
press 4 to equip the spike and then G to drop. Thank you, Mikey.
Yeah.
Again, I've played a dozen games, haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah, now you won't get reamed out by Ninja, just in case.
Yeah, you won't get yelled at.
Well, I've seen people complain about the toxicity of Valorant, but so far it's not been that bad for me. Not many people. No one's really talking though, which is weird. Because remember CS, everyone was super talkative, for better and for worse.
Yeah,
but
definitely
I
for
think
worse.
The one time someone got salty was where I was like holding an angle and someone snuck up to me like with the sneak walk where you literally can't hear them, and then he typed in chat, "That's what headphones are for," but he was still bottom fragging for the entire game, so. Didn't really matter what his opinion was.
I feel like we all have someone in the friend group like that. The bottom frag that just won't shut up in chat. It's like, focus on the game.
I know, it's like, stop typing, and then they start like complaining more, and you're like, I can't hear the game with you complaining the entire time.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's kind of sad to see a lot of games get more toxic as time goes on. Like a perfect example, Rainbow Six Siege. I love that game with all my heart. That game started off so pure. It wasn't toxic really. People were pretty understanding about new players. It was nice. And now it's just, you can't go into casual unless you want to deal with the most toxic players in existence, and ranked too. It's just, the whole environment's just toxic.
Yeah.
That's just how they're going, I feel like, most of them.
All right, we're like 5 minutes out from the hour. So Carson, you want to do our weekly score updates for us?
We got our esports roundup. So Overwatch Black Team. So thank you again for everyone who voted for our Overwatch team in the Andbox Spring Rally for the Overwatch National Tournament.
Yeah,
we
thanks,
placed
guys.
top 16. That was
awesome. It came close, right?
Yeah.
On the voting there.
And then, let's see, they played a bunch of games. Let's see, they So for like setting up the initial bracket, the online player, they were in Group 3, and they went. They lost to University of South Carolina, and then they beat. They lost 1-2. Then they beat Cal State Sacramento 2-1, and then beat South Carolina 2-0. But then once they finally got to the top 8 bracket, they lost to ASU, and then they fell. I think to one. I think it was either one of the Cal States that they lost to.
That's still great though. Top 8's
And then
really
they also did. It was the UMG Collegiate Clash. I think their first game it was 2-1 versus I think it was Mississippi State, and then they lost 0-3 to UT Dallas. Again, that tournament's weird because it's basically Utah versus everyone because Utah has only lost one map out of over 30 maps they've played over 5 weeks. It's absurd. But I don't know. Boulder's we were like top 4 out of the 12 or so teams that have played in this consistently, which is definitely really good. Again, that's going week by week. I think the playoffs are starting soon. There's no news yet on UMG had the Rocket League Collegiate Clash, but that went on a short hiatus because they needed to get some approval from the developers of Rocket League, and there were also people a little bit if that Rocket League's got a really huge collegiate scene, and a lot of people were if that it was very like it was only 8 or so teams that were involved initially, so there's a lot of restructuring with all that. But it's like let's see if we got Rocket League team. That was a Rocket League Black, and then a Rocket League Gold did the spring bash. There was some collegiate Rocket League tournament that they were in. They did fairly well in that.
Nice.
Let's
see all these online tourneys popping up.
I was afraid I wasn't really having much content for our social media accounts, but for the most part, we've had a lot going on. Let's see. We also had R6 Black dropped their first game in the CR6 League to GCU, but they're also the quarterfinalists for the CEA Spring 2020 Open League.
Right. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Do you have anything else to say with R6 since I know you play on the gold team?
It's exciting to watch them. That's one thing.
I know they got
put it in the announcement, the media channel when they have their games. I'll make sure that's on there because you guys gotta watch it. The black team is absolutely nuts.
Let's see, and then we also have
talent for sure.
So our League of Legends black team. So you guys all remember how College LOL or ULOL, however it's called, got suspended indefinitely, even though our team made the Western Conference playoffs. So they're doing weekly tournaments. So this weekly tournament started on Saturday. It's yet to finish yet, and that's what happens when you do best of 3s for like round 1 games. So it's a full 64 team playoff, not really playoffs, but more of a tournament. So that was supposed to end Saturday, Sunday, and they still haven't played the finals yet. So let's hear. Get the list. So they went 2-0 versus Montana State, 2-0 versus University of Kansas, 2-0 versus Indiana, and then 2-1 versus Alabama. They did lose 0-2 to UCI, but then they beat Arbor Esports 2-1 in the losers finals, and now they face UCI in the grand finals, hopefully sometime soon. But again, it does suck that College LOL did end, because if it continued, our black team would have been top 25 in the nation.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
I mean, they suspended the tournament because of COVID, right?
Yes.
For the most part.
So it was suspended.
Since,
I know. I mean, it sucks. There's probably a good reason for it. ESPN was doing top 25 coaches polls of National League teams. We did receive some voting the week before this all shut down. If ULOL continued for one more week, black team would have definitely been top 25. Again, there's no formal rankings, but that's cool. And then CSGO Gold, they are in the NA CCS Division 2 playoffs. So they've been actually doing really well. I know they started off a little bit cold this semester. They were really hot that first semester of the year. So let's see, they went... I'm trying to find them on this huge... Where are they? Okay, so CU Boulder beat Rogers State 2-1, but then lost to Florida Gulf Coast University, which put them in the losers bracket, where they've been so far undefeated in the losers bracket, going 2-1 versus RT Black, 2-0 versus Ohio, 2-0 versus UCSD, They just 2-0'd Iowa State. Wow, that must have just happened today. And now they're playing Florida Gulf Coast University again. So that's pretty awesome. So they've been doing a lot. And then I know we're so we've also had Valorant, which is kind of cool. Andbox is having a Valorant tournament with 128 teams, and 5 of them are from CU. It's kind of impressive.
It is pretty gnarly to see these Valorant tournaments already happening in a beta.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
We're getting information about this, but there may or may not be streaming of a few of the teams. A few of the teams are supported by the organization, and a few of them are people from CU.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's tonight, right?
Yeah, Josh says in the chat 7 p.m. games
7
tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Post coming soon. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'll mention that in the
and we have 9 streamers. Oh my. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Almost.
I know.
Indeed.
Yeah, I know a few of these teams are just kind of whoever wants to play can play. It's very open. We will probably, when the game releases, we will have formalized teams, probably black and gold teams for Valorant. But for now, these are we have one of the teams which is made of a mix of players from our Overwatch Black and Gold team. We have a bunch of CS players, our 6 players. A few people just want to play. We will get that information out shortly about that. But all I know is
saying
right
that
there. Look, everyone can point down. It'll be right there on those socials, right there. You'll be able to see what time it's happening, right there.
Yes. So that's definitely cool. Do you guys have anything else to say?
One thing I did forget to mention that Mikey G did remind me of. R6 Gold won against the other GCU team, I should say. Got revenge. It was nice. Good win by them. It was 2-1. I don't know the total. I forget what the total score was, but it was nice. It was definitely very cool. Map 1 was them. Map 2 was us, and then Map 3 was just a clean sweep by CU.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah.
Pretty good. So I'm glad our teams can still be successful as both players and students, despite being not in traditional schooling and at home. And I know online is weird sometimes with competing, but
I think we're like most of the club members, most esports players, gamers in general. We're a little bit more adaptive to this situation in general, which I think is good, powerful. I mean, this is in ways our home. Like we're showing people
Gamers
Discord,
rise.
but we know what it is. Gamers rise, absolutely.
Gamers rise up.
Something like that.
So I think we're done here. Do you guys have anything else
I think
to
that
say?
just about does it. So this, if you guys tuned in late or you're just tuning in now, it should be up on Saturday on the YouTube. So I mean,
Hopefully soon, yeah.
Just send a thanks out to Ben, our guy managing the YouTube channel for that, and just everyone behind the scenes.
Also, thanks to Robert for doing these graphics and writing the
Yes,
stories.
Robert.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were like, there was like a timer right as it started. It was like 30 seconds, and you joined the Discord call, and you're like, "Hey, room for one more?" And I'm like, "We're set up for 2 cameras right now. Let's make this happen without having a weird switch or looping that 5-minute timer." But we made it work.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that.
Really quick. Someone mentioned in the chat 3 said, "Are the higher ups going to notice how this community has flourished during this time and maybe send some funding our way?" We hope so. Again,
hope so.
None of us are higher ups. We really can't speculate, but overall, CU has been very helpful with the support they have given so far. With the providing funding for our events, the gaming focus group, having connections with the rec.
It's the influence the higher ups have had on us is the last spring, the CU gaming event took place in a rec center for St. Patrick's Day. I thought that was a great leap forward for the CU Gaming Club as a whole. I mean, that was direct from the administration to us. So I definitely think with this too, they'll definitely recognize our efforts.
We're obviously going to keep moving. We're obviously going to keep moving regardless. But I mean, like even things like tomorrow, is it tomorrow, right, at noon? If we get that Cultural Event of the Year award, we could say, hey, look at the award you gave us. Look
what we're doing.
Yeah.
Look at this nice little.
Well, I think CU Gaming got an award for up and coming club of the year at some point, so we're technically already an award-winning club and organization. But
if we continue.
Again, I don't know. We're just taking it day by day. Everyone's been doing amazing, from this podcast to the staff members to esports players. This podcast has also been great for alternative forms of outreach and entertainment, but also another way to show the university of professionalism and other things we could do other than just gaming in esports, but have a discussion about it. So so again, thank you to Robert for our graphics and stream. You can follow him at Robert Ushok. Ben for uploading on YouTube at Dragonlord Leda. Leonardo or at General Dumpling.
Yeah, go follow me on TikTok. General Dumpling on TikTok, everybody.
We need to talk about that one of these days, man. We need to talk about it. How many
when he has the helmet again, we can talk about it.
Yeah,
so,
when you are playing the General Dumpling persona.
Yes, well, I'm Carson. You can follow me at C_Giles with the Z on Twitter. Our project team includes James, Josue, and Clovis. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back next week.
All right, see you guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you again.